listen, Linda.
So this year's HumFest has the theme, PISAY, in pursuit of truth in a post-truth world. And at first I got really confused. What does post-truth mean? So I didn't really bother at first, but then my classmates practically forced me to join this contest because nobody else would. So last Monday, I spent the night researching on post-truth, and I think I finally know what it truly means. So what is post-truth? How does it affect us? How is our world affected by this so-called post-truth, and why do we need to be able to pursue the truth while living in this post-truth world? So why don't we start with this speech? The truth is that I made this speech 2 days ago, last Monday night. And maybe you believe me, but maybe you don't. And that is where post-truth comes in. Being post-truth is believing in something not because of the facts supporting it, but more because of the emotions that drive you to believe in this truth. So maybe you believe me because I have proof, but maybe you believe me because you think that I could write a speech and memorize it in 2 days. But maybe you don't believe me because somehow I pulled this off and it seems like I wrote this 2 weeks ago instead of 2 days ago. So how do we know what is actually, factually true? We, of course, check the evidences. We check the facts. But we have to remember that not all evidences are real. So we must learn to be able to check if these evidences are credible. And that is when we are supposed to start believing. So in this case, my evidence is that when you check the document that holds my speech, it says that it was made 2 days ago. And of course, you can ask my classmates, and they will tell you that, yes, they did force me 2 days ago, and so I wrote my speech Monday night. So, let's go to a wider scope. Now, this text example could be school-wide, it could be city-wide, region-wide, or nationwide. But one thing's for sure, it's every student's favorite thing. Class suspensions. So, let's say you're so busy doing your requirements and you decide to take a break. So you take your phone, you open Twitter, and the first thing you see is hashtag walang pasok. So you start wondering, is this true? And maybe at first, you don't believe it because you think, hey, this is way too good to be true. But then, you start scrolling some more through Twitter and you see more posts about it. So you decide, hey, you know what? Class suspensions rarely come, so why not make the most of it? So you push all your requirements aside, you stop doing everything you were doing, and you go to bed and sleep. And then, the next day, you wake up at noon. And then you open your phone and there are messages from your classmates asking, hey, where are you? Why aren't you at school? So you open Twitter and you realize, oh my gosh, the posts about class suspensions weren't true. And then you realize that there were replies on it saying that it isn't true. But then you were too overwhelmed, you were too overjoyed, and you believed it. And it affected you. So maybe right now, your biggest worry could be that you missed class because you believed something, because you were emotionally driven to believe it. But there are far worse problems than that. There are people who don't believe in poverty, in hunger, in climate change. And this is happening because some people are just so good at toying with our emotions and pushing us to believe these truths. And they have been able to manipulate us, to convince us. And this has become so easy because of social media. But we are scholars. We have to remember that we are scholars and we must continue to search for the untarnished truth. And in this post-truth world, it is so important that we find it. So post-truth, being post-truth, is believing in something because we are emotionally driven to believe that, because it aligns with our own views and opinions. But then then it is not supported by actual facts. So as scholars, we must continue to find the untarnished truth and in this post-truth world to save ourselves from fake news. Thank you.
The post-truth is believing in what our emotions drive us to believe. So, to hear from our next speaker,